good afternoon, good mid-morning. Not really exactly sure what to call this time, but thanks to everyone for hopping on here. Meg Rossler joining you here in the 21 Alive Plus studio. We were trying to get some of this information out a bit earlier, but we're having some technical issues. But the big news coming out of Carroll County from the Delphi murders trial today, we have learned that the defense has rested their case. Again, this is day 17 of the Delphi murders trial. This trial was expected to last potentially up until next Friday. So this is a bit earlier than what was anticipated, you know, for that allotted time of how long that the trial was allowed to go. Obviously, it was set for trial getting to be the last day on November 15th was the exact day. That wasn't including any jury deliberations or closing statements or anything like that. But again, that is the biggest news out of Carroll County this morning, is that the defense has rested their case for suspect Richard Allen. Anyone who's been following this case closely will know those details. Richard Allen is accused of killing Abigail Williams and Liberty German in Delphi back in 2017 near the Monon High Bridge in Delphi. And other than the information that we have that, you know, the defense has rested their case, again, not a lot has happened physically in the courtroom from what we know so far. Obviously, we are not in the courtroom today. I'm here back in Fort Wayne reporting all this information to you. But from what we've been hearing of what's happening in the courtroom, what we know is, again, the defense rested their case, and what we are expecting to see at some point this afternoon, maybe, I don't know if they're on break right now, how exactly court's playing out, but we're told that the prosecution is expected to bring up a few rebuttal witnesses to the stand again before closing statements and jury deliberation does begin. Now that is the biggest news from today. But I did just want to provide a little bit of an update on some things that we might have missed from yesterday, because as many of you probably know, Election Day was yesterday. A lot of our coverage was based on that. That was some of the biggest news of the day. But they did have, I'm just going to pull up the exact details here. I just want to make sure I get everything right again, because as you know, we were focused on a lot of election coverage. So getting that stuff for Delphi was a bit on the back burner yesterday. But yesterday, the defense brought up, I want to find her name specifically. Bear with me here. Stacey Eldridge, who is a digital forensic examiner, and claims on the stand yesterday, again, this is from yesterday. I just want to do a bit of a recap since we didn't get to do any updates yesterday because of the election. She claims that she used data pulled by Indiana State Police from Libby German's cell phone, which, as again many of you know if you've been keeping up with the updates on this trial, Libby German's cell phone was found near the girls' bodies, and determined that someone had inserted a headphone jack into the phone on the evening that the girls went missing, and she says that it was pulled out about 5 hours later. Now, those details were very shocking, according to people that were in the courtroom yesterday. That was a detail that not many people were expecting to hear at this point in the case. You know, if you look at it in the sense of defense rested their case today, and a completely new piece of evidence / information got presented by the defense yesterday. I think that's a super interesting thing to keep an eye on. You know, the defense shocked people in the courtroom yesterday and then came to close their arguments today. So that is the latest. Again, from that testimony, the prosecution was trying to argue the credibility of this woman, Stacey Eldridge's expertise, and you know how she identified that a headphone jack was removed from the phone during those hours that the girls were reported missing. But she again was claiming that that was something that definitely happened. You know, I'll read it to you again just from the exact words. She determined that someone inserted a headphone jack into the phone on the evening that the girls went missing, and then it was pulled out about 5 hours later. So that was the newest development, kind of a shocking detail from what we heard that went on in the courtroom yesterday. Again, jurors were shocked. Many people were shocked in the courtroom yesterday when that detail was prevailed. But The biggest news again today, just to recap in case anyone is just joining us, the defense has rested their case in Carroll County today for suspect Richard Allen in the Delphi murders trial. That is the latest, again, since they did announce that it was the closing statements. There's not much specific detail yet on what happened in court, but what we are expecting to see before closing statements and jury deliberation begins, it's said that the prosecution is expected to bring up a few more rebuttal witnesses before closing statements begin. But again, that is the latest that we have for you right now, and expecting that closing statements might begin some point today, depending on what prosecution witnesses we might hear from once again today. There's a lot of details that are a big question mark, a big unknown that we will be staying on top of, making sure we have the latest information for everyone, because again, like I was saying, it's something that's a little bit questionable right now, and everyone probably has a lot of questions about what's next, who might be called to the stand, and all of those details, but we will be sure to keep you updated with the latest for right now. But again, big news from today, defense resting its case in the Delphi murders trial for suspect Richard Allen. But that is all that we know for right now, and we will continue to keep you updated once we have more information from what happens in the courtroom from this next afternoon, late morning session. But for now, thanks to everyone for joining us. Again, Meg Rossler here in the 21 Alive Plus studio, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon/morning, whatever time of day that this deems for you to be.